We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DT India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. USA's driver in fatal New Orleans truck ramming was inspired by the ISIS. FBI suspects more involved in the attack, launches manhunt for more suspects. Investigators looking for links between New Orleans attack and Las Vegas incident after a Tesla cyber truck explosion outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas leaves one dead. Montenegro declares 3 days of national mourning after gunman goes on rampage, killing at least 10. Suspect dies after attempting suicide. Israel warns to intensify its strikes in Gaza if Hamas keeps up its rocket fire. And on to the details now. A U.S. Army veteran with an ISIS flag on his truck swerved around makeshift barriers and plowed into New Orleans' crowded French Quarter on New Year's Day, killing 15 people. The suspect, identified as Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas who once served in Afghanistan, was killed in a shootout with police after ramming the crowd. The attack injured about 30 other people, including 2 police officers wounded by gunfire from the suspect. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said an ISIS flag was located in the vehicle and the team is working to determine the subject's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations. The team has thus launched a manhunt for more suspects, with police and political leaders already vowing to capture any accomplices.
There were a lot of extra people in town for a big... All right.
Well, a gunman who killed at least 10 people in a rampage in a small town in Montenegro died from self-inflicted injuries on Thursday after attempting suicide. At least 10 people, including 2 children, were killed by a gunman who launched a shooting spree that started in a village restaurant near the southern Montenegro city of Cetinje. Interior Minister Danilo Saranovic said that members of the suspect's own family were among the victims. He described the incident as the consequence of disturbed interpersonal relations without providing further details. According to media reports, a suspect had engaged in a brawl at a restaurant and later returned and opened fire, killing multiple people, including the owner of the establishment. The government declared 3 days of national mourning from Thursday. Meanwhile, U.S. law enforcement is investigating whether there are any links between a New Orleans truck attack and the explosion of a Tesla cyber truck outside the Trump Hotel, Las Vegas. A Tesla cyber truck exploded in flames outside the Trump Hotel, Las Vegas on Wednesday, killing 1 person and injuring at least 7 others. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said it was investigating the fire at the entrance to the tower. The suspicious blast is being investigated as a possible terrorist attack. The public was told to avoid the area, though the police noted the fire had been put out. Elon Musk, Tesla's chief executive, said in a statement on X that the explosion was caused by very large fireworks and a bomb carried in the bed of the rented cyber truck, and said the the vehicle was functioning properly. President Joe Biden has been briefed on the fire and explosion near the Trump International Hotel, Las Vegas, and has directed his team to offer any federal assistance needed. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned on Wednesday that Israel will intensify its strikes in Gaza if Hamas keeps up its rocket fire. Over the past week, Palestinian terrorists have reportedly fired rockets at Israel, particularly from northern Gaza, where the Israeli military is conducting a major offensive. His warning came after a visit to the Israeli town of Netivot, which was recently targeted by rocket fire from nearby Gaza. Hamas is still holding 96 hostages seized during their October 7, 2023 attack on Israel, and successive rounds of negotiations for their release and a ceasefire have all failed. And Israel's former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant announced on Wednesday that he was resigning from Parliament. In a televised statement on Wednesday, Gallant vowed to work continuously to bring kidnapped Israelis back home.
In the last 2 months since I was removed from the position as Minister of Defense, a significant event has occurred. The government of Israel, led by the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister, is advancing a conscription law that contradicts the needs of the IDF and the security of the State of Israel. The proposed law is intended to grant exemptions from military service to the majority of the Haredi sector youth. This I cannot accept or be a part to.
Well, Gallant was dismissed from the government in November last year by Netanyahu after months of disagreements over the conduct of the conflict against Hamas in Gaza, but kept his seat as an elected member of the Knesset. Netanyahu and Gallant disagreed on several issues, notably the exemption of ultra-Orthodox Jewish men from military service. Gallant and Netanyahu also clashed over the conduct of Israel's war in Gaza after the deadly attack by Hamas on October 7, 2023. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Gallant and Netanyahu, along with the Hamas leader, for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Gaza conflict. And a Syrian delegation led by newly appointed Foreign Minister Assad Hassan al-Shibani arrived in Riyadh on Wednesday in its first official visit abroad. The delegation includes Defense Minister Murhaf Abu Khasra and General Intelligence Service Chief Anas Khattab. The visit came less than a month since Bashar al-Assad was ousted by rebels on December 8th. Upon arriving in the kingdom, the Syrian FM expressed hope to open a new bright page in Syrian-Saudi relations that befits the long shared history between the two countries. The top Syrian delegation is visiting Kingdom at the invitation of the Saudi Foreign Minister. Last month, a Saudi delegation met Syria's new leader, Ahmed al-Sharaa, in Damascus. And at least 2 people were killed and 6 injured in a Russian drone strike on Kyiv early on Wednesday. Footage showed explosions erupted in the heart of the city's government district on New Year's Day. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko revealed that 2 floors of a residential building partially destroyed, debris damaging the National Bank of Ukraine and other structures. Ukraine's military reported shooting down 63 of 111 drones launched by Russia overnight, with another 46 neutralized through electoral jamming. And Britain steps up efforts to fight illegal migration and strengthen border security, with the government saying that suspected people smugglers will face severe curbs under the new laws. Those suspected will face travel bans, social media blackouts and restrictions on phone usage to help the government dismantle organized immigration crime networks. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, elected to office in July, has prioritized tackling illegal migration by cracking down on the gangs who smuggle people across the English Channel. The number of irregular Migrants arriving in Britain on small boats soared in 2024. According to the government data, some 36,816 people were detected in the channel last year, a 25% increase from the previous year. At least 76 deaths were recorded in about 20 accidents last year, making it the deadliest year for migrants who are taking ever greater risks to evade Britain's border control. And moving on, Bangladesh court to hear the bail plea of jailed Hindu leader Chinmoy Krishnadas on Thursday, while ISKCON expressed hope that jailed Hindu leader will receive justice in the court hearing. Chinmoy Krishnadas was arrested from Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport area of Dhaka in connection with the sedition case filed in Chattogram on November 25th. Bangladesh's minority Hindus have faced hundreds of attacks in the country since the fall of Sheikh Hasina's Awami League government on August 5th. Chinmoy Krishnadas had earlier demanded that the interim government in Bangladesh take strong action against the fundamentalists fomenting trouble in the country and arrest them so as to build confidence among the minorities. And Poland has taken over the presidency of the Council of the European Union, taking over from Hungary, marking the start of a 6-month rotation. EU member states make turns every 6 months to chair meetings of the bloc's member governments and liaise between them and other EU institutions. While 2024 saw Belgium and Hungary preside, Poland and Denmark take charge in 2025. The Polish EU presidency said on its website priorities for its tenure would include European security and climate change. As a nation bordering Belarus and deeply affected by the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, it also seeks to address migration and border security challenges. And some news from around the world now. Italians plunged into the icy waters of River Tiber in Rome on Wednesday as they welcomed the new year with a traditional jump from Cavo Bridge. Marco Foy succeeded Maurizio Palmoli as this year's Mr. OK, a title traditionally held by the veteran diver who retired last year. Since 1946, the annual Tiber dive marks a New Year's Day with 3 divers leaping off Rome's Cavo Bridge this year. Well, after celebrating the start of 2025, thousands of runners gathered at Berlin's landmark Brandenburg Gate to get the new year off to a positive start. The 52nd event saw 4,500 runners start at Berlin's Brandenburg Gate, race along Unter den Linden to the cathedral and return. There is no entry fee for the fun run, with donations going to people in need. Hundreds of revelers gathered at Barcelona beach to take part in the traditional first bath of the year in the Mediterranean Sea. Enjoying the sun, participants run from the beach to the water, wearing Christmas hats and glasses. Foreigners also enjoyed the traditional event. Iceland's New Year featured northern lights illuminating the sky alongside vibrant fireworks. The lights, also known as aurora borealis in the northern hemisphere, are a phenomena caused by plasma ejected from the sun during a solar storm, interacting with the geomagnetic field on Earth. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. The atmosphere gets electrifying as preparations are in full swing for Mahakumbh 2025. IMD forecast cold wave and dense fog in northwest India. Himachal Pradesh braces for fresh snowfall. And Jasprit Bumrah scripts history, surpasses R. Ashwin. Stay tuned to know more.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Vipakshi Khurana, and moving on. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister for Political Affairs Majid Takht Ravanchi will arrive in New Delhi today on a two-day visit. Takht Ravanchi will participate in the 19th round of Iran-India political consultations. Iran and India have a long-standing historical relationship underscored by cultural and economic ties and formalized by the 2003 Strategic Partnership Agreement. This partnership has flourished, particularly in the fields of energy and trade, with bilateral trade reaching an impressive $17.5 billion in 2022-2023. And India's Ministry of Defence has declared 2025 as the year of reforms, a strategic move aimed at modernizing the country's armed forces to prepare them for future challenges. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh announced the decision at a high-level meeting. Let's now take a look at the key focus areas of the initiative. Enhancing jointness and integration initiatives and facilitate establishment of the integrated theatre commands. Focus on new domains such as cyber and space and emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, hypersonics and robotics. Developing a shared understanding of operational requirements and joint operational capabilities through inter-service cooperation and training. Acquisition procedures need to be made simpler and time-sensitive to facilitate swifter and robust capability development. Facilitate technology transfer and knowledge sharing between the defence sector and civil industries, promoting public-private partnerships by improving ease of doing business. Focus on collaboration across various stakeholders in the defence ecosystem. Position India as a credible exporter of defence products, fostering R&D and partnerships between Indian industries and foreign original equipment manufacturers for knowledge sharing and resource integration. Ensure the welfare of veterans while leveraging their expertise. And we now tell you about the preparations underway on a war footing as Prayagraj gears up for the Mahakumbh 2025. In the run-up to this mega event, a grand procession by Sri Shambhu Panchayati Atal Akhara made the atmosphere electrifying. The next report examines how Prayagraj is all set for this mega festival of faith.
The Grand Mahakumbh 2025, a sacred pilgrimage and festival of faith that attracts millions of devotees and travelers from all corners of the world, is all set to begin in the holy Indian city of Prayagraj from the 13th of this month. In the run-up to the Mahakumbh 2025, a grand procession by Sri Shambhu Panchayati Atal Akhara made the atmosphere electrifying. Accompanied by traditional music and fanfare, the royal procession entered the Mahakumbh Mela premises, showcasing its spiritual and cultural magnificence. Meanwhile, the Uttar Pradesh government has made extensive arrangements to ensure Mahakumbh 2025 is a memorable and divine experience for all. For the past few months, an army of workers have been diligently channelizing the rivers, widening roads, and leveling the ghats to transform the city in anticipation of one of the largest religious events in the world. And the Indian Railways is leaving no stone unturned in making the journey to Mahakumbh easy and safe for the pilgrims. And more than 10,000 regular and 3,134 special trains are being run by the railways. Out of these, 1,800 trains will be run for short distance and 700 trains for long distance. Mahakumbh 2025 has now become a status symbol for people on New Year. From WhatsApp status to X, Instagram and Facebook Reels, Mahakumbh is becoming increasingly popular. People are highly attracted and impressed by the preparations and decorations of the holy event. The entire area is glowing with more than 67,000 lights at night. Bureau Report, DD India.
Well, the Indian Meteorological Department has predicted that a wet spell is likely to occur over the Himalayan region for the coming week and on the plains of northwest India from the 4th of January. Dense fog and cold wave conditions are expected to maintain their grip over some parts of northwest India for the next 24 hours. Gradual improvement is forecast afterwards. According to the Met Department, minimum temperatures across most of India are forecasted to be higher than usual in January, with exceptions in parts of eastern, northwest and west central regions. While Himachal Pradesh is set to witness fresh snowfall and rainfall in the mid and high hill areas starting 2nd of January, with officials forecasting heavy precipitation. According to the Meteorological Department, the state is expected to experience heavy rainfall on January 5th and 6th, while the plains and low hills will likely remain dry. And Jammu and Kashmir continue to experience severe cold, with temperatures dropping below freezing in many areas. The chill caused Dal Lake surface to freeze. And now let's take a look at other stories making news today. Toxic waste from Bhopal's Union Carbide factory linked to the 40-year-old gas tragedy has been transported to Vidhanpur for disposal. The 250-kilometer journey was secured by a green corridor with 50 police personnel ensuring safety. Authorities will destroy the hazardous waste following strict protocols in the coming days. Ticket sales for the Republic Day Parade on January 26, 2025 and the beating retreat ceremonies on January 28 to 29, 2025 starts on the 2nd of January. The online tickets will be available at amantran.mod.gov.in or Amantran app, and offline tickets at 5 locations in Delhi, including Sena Bhavan, Shastri Bhavan, Jantar Mantar, Pragati Maidan and Rajiv Chowk Metro Station. Shimla's historic open-air ice skating rink, over a century-old, remains a winter highlight for locals and visitors. On New Year's Day 2025, the rink saw enthusiastic skaters enjoying its charm. Renowned for hosting competitions, the rink continues to be a treasured landmark of winter recreation. And in sports, all-rounder Beau Webster is all set for his Test debut for Australia in place of the dropped Mitchell Marsh in the 5th Test against India on Friday. Marsh's position has been under intense scrutiny after a poor series. He's failed to fire with a bat and sent down just 16 wicketless overs across the last 3 Tests. Mitchell Starc was selected despite carrying a rib niggle and will take his spot in the attack alongside Pat Cummins, Scott Boland and Nathan Lyon. Australia 2-1 up in the series. The hosts need to draw the Sydney Test to regain the Border Gavaskar Trophy after more than a decade. And pacer Jasprit Bumrah has gone post Ravichandran Ashwin's record to become the highest-ranked Indian Test bowler in the ICC rankings history. The Indian pace spearhead has secured 907 points in the Test rankings, surpassing Ashwin's 904 rating points, which was achieved in December 2016. Bumrah finished year 2024 with 71 wickets in the longest format. His stellar performance in the ongoing Border Gavaskar series against Australia has yielded him 30 wickets and helped him consolidate his lead as the #1 Test bowler in the recent rankings. An Indian women's football team is set to square off with Maldives in the second friendly match in Bengaluru on Thursday. Head coach Joachim Alexanderson said that he will hand out more debuts in the match. Alexanderson made a thumping start to his coaching career in India as the team thrashed Maldives 14-0 in the first match. As many as 8 players made their debut. India ranked 69th in the FIFA rankings, while Maldives are at the 163rd position. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. Well, we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.